Aha, okay, this is future Drew from the part 1 thing. Yeah, this is part 2, so if you didn't go see part 1 of Capital, go watch that. Part 2 is going to be a lot shorter because I did not split them in half properly. Yeah, I don't care. Deal with it. So I'm going to jump down. If you've seen other runs, you can see that a lot of us like to jump in. As soon as we make it down to this rail, we like to time slip to do the rail slip. If I can sit still, for the purposes of this guide, I'm just gonna land down here and kind of show you. So using the same concept of rail slipping to get up to the clock tower, we're gonna be doing the same exact thing to make it across that building over there. We are going to be rail slipping and using gravity to be able to give us a boost to make it all the way to the other building. Prior to finding this little bit of gravity manipulation, we would rail slip to the left over here and grapple to the sludge and hit this checkpoint. Now, if you are not able to get this rail slip going across, you can very much easily still do the left one. It's a little bit weird because Ray will drop at times, and you kind of have to find the right median of where to kind of like point Ray. But I'm going to show you this way is just generally better. You can still hit the checkpoint as well if you wish to. So what we're going to do is we are going to rail slip. We're going to do the same thing. See, we kind of get that boost, and now we've made it up. Hit this checkpoint for you. So once again, practice that just the same way you will for the rail slip for the clock tower. You want to rail slip, kind of hold your jump, and as soon as you see that kind of like little boost that Ray gets, use your second jump to be able to make it across. From here, attack this. We can party, bounce right through. Now I don't think I believe I explained partying, so sorry about that. Partying is where you spam skate on a rail. I did kind of mention it a bit earlier, but you want to spam skate on a rail. By doing that, you are gaining a lot of momentum and speed without having to do a rail slip, and you'll be able to fly through things like really well. So just to kind of give you a quick little example of that, here's a rail that we have. It's me spamming skate. You can kind of see me getting boost. If you do it right at the end of a rail as well, you can kind of get like a nice little boost as well, just like that. Kind of see that bounce. So it's like doing a rail slip but without having to do the time slip. Now this is going to be another difficult rail slip. What we're going to do is get on this rail here, and we are going to rail slip around this building. There was a way that whenever we would use our time slip, if you pause the game, this would continue to go, but that's been patched. So this will require a lot of practice to get it down. It's still pretty difficult. Even sometimes some of the top runners still have a little bit of difficulty trying to get around. Okay, so we are going to rail slip, jump off the edge, kind of see this boost that we have, and we can grapple here, or we can land up here. Come right across, kill him if you want. And we're gonna do another rail slip. You don't have to, but once again, we're speedrunners. We're gonna rail slip right across to this building here. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can just ride this rail, grapple, and just jump right across and climb up. So we're gonna hit this. Just like that. Look at that crazy insane boost. We can use our momentum just like that to be able to fly through this entire section without having to stop, just off that rail slip alone. So getting that is so smooth and so satisfying because you fly through that entire section without having to pause. It takes a bit of practice, but rail slip right up to the building. So here we go. Thresher is gonna spawn. We're gonna get his cutscene. Cool. So as soon as we spawn in, we want to come over here. We want to party right off this rail, jump, get this crazy boost. We can land right over to get here as fast as possible to make it up to Thresher. So now we just want to continue through Thresher. if you kind of understand how this boss works, mechanics, it has very weird gravity at certain times because of how the tail moves and everything, but you just want to kind of go through as fast as you can. Avoid hitting his little ridges because they will just break all of your momentum and slow you down. So we just want to go through. It's gonna flip. There's a few different spawn locations that he can spawn us depending on how fast you're going and depending on where he is currently at as far as his movement. You can spawn here, you can spawn down there where that shield cell is, but thankfully we got a closer spawn because he decided to take this longer little wrap versus going down to the right directly next to us. We're gonna go through. Once again, just defeat the boss as fast as possible. Just like so. Here we are on the final phase. You can skip this if you want. I'm just gonna include them in there. At first I wasn't, but there is something that I will have to explain afterwards. So there is a very annoying thing that does happen with this boss. As you see, when you spawn in, he does a flip. There are certain spawn locations that you are given that when he spawns in, he can flip and actually kill you because during this final third phase, it's very frustrating, as well as blocking your point of view from these grapples when he does his flip as well. There's a lot of little annoyances with Thresher, but crazy cool movement on this boss in particular. Come right over, triple jumping through this, continue, and now we have beaten Thresher. Those are 2 anomalies down. As soon as this little cutscene kind of comes back, once again, Echo's gonna be holding us. We want to just skip through this dialogue right on through.
Enjoy your freedom.
Just like so. We're gonna load in. As you see, the eye and the door for Basin has now opened. Basin is the 3rd location that we are going to visit to defeat Sentry, the next boss in our run. As soon as we get up, see it's gonna speak to us like always. Skip through the dialogue. You can hit Sid thanks, and as soon as you're done speaking with Sid, we are going to hit our warp and go straight to Crater. From here, this is where the run for Basin will begin. You want to go right down to the left and make our way there. So let's move on to the pathing for Basin.